Right, it's time for a very short and quick interlude really. I've been bashing Gran Turismo 5 for the past couple of weeks. There's no end in sight as regards to me ceasing to play that and to actually get back to some retro videos. But anyway, that's discussion for another future video on Gran Turismo 5 and how I think the game is and how it plays, etc. But anyway, getting back to the reason for this video. Something that has happened over the last weekend is concerning some great news really for people that want to be able to play Ketsui and also DDP DaiOuJou. For the likes of people that haven't got access to the PCB or the Xbox 360 versions or PlayStation 2 versions, something that's happened is that and the MAME developers have managed to release a version of MAME 1.40 version 2 at the moment that will actually enable you to play Ketsui and DDP DaiOuJou, black label version, and also the white version, which is quite monumental for a lot of people that haven't got access to the various other ports or the original PCBs. You can download the software on the internet, it's widely available. You can also download the ROMs obviously. Normally I wouldn't do a video on something like this, but because of the actual excitement it's caused in the sort of retro gaming sector, I just thought I'd do a quick video just to mention that those games are now available, the dumps are now available and you can play them on MAME. I will hopefully try and get this version of MAME. There's various things you have to do to enable the current release version of MAME to actually work with these ROMs. You have to apply some patches. There are a few compiled versions that aren't supported by MAME that are floating around, where you can just download them and they'll just work. It's not absolutely perfect emulation. It is pretty perfect on Ketsui, but there are some slight speed issues on DaiOuJou, but it's not a massive issue to be fair. And if you want to look at the games before you would consider buying them on the 360 for instance or the PCB, it's a great way of doing that. What I'm going to try and do is set up one of my spare PCs that I've got that I can connect to one of my cabinets, so at least you can see the game running and see what it looks like. I mean, these are two absolutely fantastic games sort of been created by Cave, and like I said, if you haven't got the facility to be able to play these games any other way, it will give you an insight to what the game looks like. Amazingly enough, it's actually given a lot of people, from some of the comments I've read on the forums, is that they're playing the likes of Ketsui now. It's been emulated and they're saying, right, okay, I've definitely got to get a Japanese Xbox 360 or I've got to go and get the original PCB. Obviously there's a lot of people who look down on this because you're playing a pirated version in effect of the game, but you know, each their own. So I'll get some very quick sort of gameplay video just so you can really see what the game looks like on the arcade cabinet running, and yeah, go out and grab it if you can. Right, so this is Ketsui. This is a track sequence running on MAME. As you can see, it all the graphics look fine on it, and once I start playing it, you'll realise that it plays very well. Something worth mentioning about this specific PC that I'm using. It's not a normal PC. This is connected to one of my arcade cabinets, so it's running into a CRT monitor. And to actually get the best out of MAME, it's using an arcade VGA graphics card in the PC itself, which actually enables me to replicate the various resolutions that the original ROM would have requested of the arcade board or the arcade machine I should say. So this is actually running at the resolution that it should be running at. And one of the ways that you can tell that is if I just take the camera off, as you'll notice I've got the glorious scan lines. So if we wait till the game comes up, you can't, right, I should be able to see there you've got scan lines, which actually makes the image absolutely crystal clear. Now obviously you've got to set this up to actually do this, and it is a pain in the backside to do it for games, but as you can see, if you do run MAME for anything and you want to get the best out of it, you should be running it on an arcade monitor in reality, not an LCD one. And if you use the appropriate hardware, you can get it to look absolutely mint. So let's put this back on here. Like I said, this is just a test PC that I've got, just literally just to try this out, and I'll use it for trying various things out on my arcade camps. I don't normally use this setup, but so let's have a look. So just to prove that this all works fine, we'll have a quick bash. I won't go through gameplay because I've done that on the previous video before on the Xbox 360 version, so this is just to show you it really running. Just turn the sound up a bit. Right, so that's quick sort of proof really of the fact that Ketsui is available and it does now run on MAME. A lot of people slag MAME off, but I think it's a great bit of software. It's especially really useful if you're undecided on whether to actually buy the PCB or to buy the various port that may be available to that game. So anyway, that's Ketsui. So if I just return back to the test menu in this version of MAME, you'll notice there, if you can see that, I'm not sure you can see that, but the Galuda ROM has been dumped as well in part, but it's not working correctly, so there's no point looking at that. You've got the various versions of DaiOuJou. You've got DaiOuJou DaiOuJou, and you've also got DaiOuJou DaiOuJou Black Label. So if we have a look at that one, oh, sorry, I forgot to use a keyboard for this. Pain in the backside, but now, I've got to be honest, I doubt if I'll actually play these versions in MAME anyway, because I don't hardly use it for that. And I've got various versions anyway, and they're real good versions, the 360 port and the PlayStation 2 port, so it's irrelevant to me, but for the people that haven't got access to those, it's useful. Right, so you can choose a different version here, old or new. Not actually sure what the relevance of that is. But again, it was obviously part of the original arcade ROM set of the Black Label version. I think the old one actually is the white version, the new version would be the black version, so let's just start that off again. Don't unpatch it black. Start that. We'll go to new version. See at the bottom it says the black version. Yeah, there we go. So that's the black version of it, Black Label. I don't actually know what the specific difference on this is, because I have never had the game. So now if you've played previous versions, you'll notice the sound on there is a bit quick, so that's a bit of an issue with it. Now I'm not sure what this is either. 1 round game, 2 round game. We'll stick with 1 round game. I don't know if it's to do with the loops. Now if you do play this game, you will notice the sound in the game as well is a tad quick. But again, the purpose of this is just to show you it working. Got to be honest, I haven't really played this that much, nor Ketsui, so I don't actually, well, I haven't played it at all actually, first time I played it, so I don't know whether or not there is problems with the emulation further on. But like I said, I've got no desire to play this MAME version outside of any quick blast on the PC on my desktop, really. And it's going to end pretty quickly. And again, just to show you that it does work. And we'll end it there.